Yes and no, I think, is the answer to that. No, because I genuinely, and I have never said otherwise, and I will never say otherwise, because it is my absolute truth. I do not remember having what would be regarded as unsafe sex by the normal rules before I contracted HIV. Oral sex, yes, but never anal sex without condoms, ever. Now, obviously, I'm statistically rare, but I'm not making that up. And I know that had I done such a thing, had I had a moment of failure or recklessness or negligence, which, by the way, I think is, again, we're talking here about passionate moments that are the least susceptible to rational control. So my own perspective on this is not in any way judgmental of getting HIV, because it happens in the way that other things happen. I would have beaten myself up really badly over that, if that were true. I just know myself. I know that I would, if there was an incident I could remember where I had made a mistake, it would still be resonating through my consciousness as something that was a moment that altered my life for awful, into awful manifestations and huge amounts of pain, sorrow, struggle, stress, and anxiety. And I would have fixated on that moment and beaten myself up badly about it. I do not recall such a moment. I don't want to sound like Herman Cain, but I don't. I mean, it's a long time ago, and inevitably, it could have been anything. Now, there could have been a broken condom I never saw, or there could have been a cut I wasn't aware of. There could have been something that just, these things can happen. But so in that respect, no, reckless implies that one took no precautions, and I did. If by being reckless means having sex at all, having a sex life in the age of AIDS, then yes. But I don't think that's reckless. I think that's living. I don't think the goal of life is forever not to experience what it is to be a human, because there are risks involved. There are always risks involved in almost all things that are worth doing as human beings, including falling in love as well as having sex, buying a home, picking a career. I mean, these things are all risky. But I got it. It was probably the biggest crisis of my life. It has cost me hugely in terms of my struggle to become an American, my own health, the health of my friends. I wish I hadn't done it, and I wish it hadn't happened to me. But I will also say this. I believe, as readers frustratingly understand, I mean, they're frustrated, I'm not, but I do wonder sometimes whether in one's life things happen. I mean, my life has been full of moments when things have gone wrong, like really wrong, in pretty bad ways. And I think those experiences taught me something. And insofar as I pray that I'm living my life according to what our Lord would want me to do and be, when I look back upon that experience of infection, I see it as a transformative moment. It's the reason I wrote Virtually Normal, which was the first serious argument in defense of marriage rights published in this country. It's the reason I was propelled to become a writer that really had little to lose, which I think makes one a better writer in the long run. And it brought me closer to God, because every, I think, moment of real encounter with one's own mortality, at whatever level that is, will do that if you are already in touch with God, already in a conversation with him or her or Godness. So in that way, this is something that will sound sort of weirdly controversial and odd, but in some ways, it has taught me so much that I am almost, but not glad it happened. Because life's like that. You don't make choices. These things happen. They're not easily reducible to you were bad or good. They are more reducible to what did you make of it? How did you respond to it? And what it made me do as a human being made me confront, including my own responsibility for it, which I fully accepted, and still fully accept. I think they've made me a totally different person, and I hope a better one in many different ways. So I look on it with ambivalence in a way, which is why the word reckless and the whole way that question is framed doesn't strike me as terribly helpful.